Sorry about that. Had a break in the video recording, so I will go ahead and just pick up where I left off. Start a little bit about introduction, Paul's concern for the church, chapter 1, verses 1 through 12. We have the thanks. His requests are threefold. Verse 9 of chapter 1, for you to be filled with knowledge, kind of a play on words there. And the one from knowledge that we talked about a little earlier. Verse 10, for you to live a worthy life. And verse 11, for you to be strengthened with all power, God's power through the Holy Spirit. Main point be number 1, Jesus is King. We find in chapter 1, verses 13 through 23. The key verse being verse 18, Christ should be preeminent in everything because of who he is, because of what he did, and because of what he requires. And you can find that in verses 13 through 23 of chapter 1. And then it talks about the king and you. The king is Jesus, obviously. Chapter 1, verse 24 through chapter 2, verse 7. The key being verse 127. Christ in you is the hope of glory. Share Christ's affliction, minister from God's mysteries, and we are to agonize with our friends. Then a third point is the king and your religion in chapter 2, verses 8 through 23. The key verse is verse 19, hold fast to the head, meaning Christ. The problem is we need more than circumcision. We need Jesus. And salvation is the total adequacy of Christ to fulfill that. Then the fourth main point, the king and your lifestyle is addressed in chapter 3, the first 17 verses. The key verse being verse 17, do everything you do in my name, meaning Jesus. What we are to put off and then what we are to put on as far as our Christian life is concerned. Then the king and your family is found in chapter 3, verse 18 through chapter 4, verse 1. The key verse being 3:23, you are serving the Lord, not man. Whether you are at home or on the job, you are serving God, not man, the Lord. The king and your co-workers, we find in chapter 4, verses 2 through 18, with the key verse being verse 17, fulfill your ministry. How to help missionaries, how to work among non-Christians, and who I should work with. So I hope this has helped you a little bit in understanding a little bit, at least anyway, about the book of Colossians and what it entails. Kind of just a brief outline, and maybe that'll whet your appetite to pick up the book of Colossians. It's just a short book, about 4 chapters, and just a good read, and I hope that you would desire to read it and then study it. I hope that you have a great rest of the day, and may God bless you.